guys, we have front squats today as our main lift. All right, couch or bench. Looking to put ourselves into this position here to get that front quad opened up. Front quad, looking to get the front of your leg, the quad muscle open up, and also the hip flexor. Squeeze the glute, whatever knee is down, and then tuck that butt underneath. Great, drive that hip forward, hands up, push the hip toward the kneeling side. The closer you bring that knee toward the bench or couch, definitely going to intensify that stretch in that quad. Who's feeling a stretch? Me. That was very nice and synchronized. I love it. All right, team, next up, can openers. Feet up position here. Thoracic spine extension, right? So think about 90-degree angle this way, but my bottom hand and my top hand, and then keeping my hips down, rotating my upper body up and around, trying to maintain that 90-degree angle. So that bottom hand now is actually reaching toward the ceiling, and that right hand, or I'm using my right, is trying to get all the way down toward the ground, and then come up and around back to that 90-degree position, and then rinse and repeat. Basically rotating your upper body while your lower body stays put. Try not to hold your breath, keep that air, oxygen flowing. Warm up, starting from the ground up. Have something you can lift up onto, awesome. If not, don't sweat it. But we're doing calf raises. So, really simple stuff. Get that good stretch at the bottom. If you're using something like a plate or a small little something or other, maybe a step at your house if you don't have these. But really simply pressing into that big toe. Whoa! Pressing into that big toe and using the calves, obviously, to get yourself elevated off the ground. Now, key component is literally pressing that big toe into the ground. If you need to, actually turn your heels out, and almost like it's called pigeon-toed, right? So heels are out, pressing into that big toe, and you really feel that calf contract. All the way down, get that good stretch, and then all the way back up, obviously. For your warm-up, it's 10 plus or minus 2 each side. If you need to hold on to the wall like I was just doing, I forgot to mention that, that's not a problem either. But that's gonna get your ankles and calves rocking, and Russian twist is next. You guys know the deal with this, right? Good strong posture. Don't need much of a movement. If you're feeling good and those hips are stable, you can lift that heel, those heels up off the ground. Again, 10 plus or minus 2 each side. Cossack lunge will be next. Get that inner thigh loosened up and a little bit more mobile. Keep the hips low, shift your weight, keep your hips low when you do that. Rotate the opposite hip up and out. Okay, just transferring that weight over, keeping that good strong posture. And then last up, grasshopper. Another mobility drill. Take your time with it. As that hip comes forward, drop the hips and lift the head up. Get that inner groin and also your upper back stretched out. All right, work period. Your main lift today is a front squat. Difference with a front squat and back squat is really simple. That's why we call it a front squat. That weight is in the front part of your body. Back squat will be on your back. The thing with the back squat, there's only like one way to get that weight back here is with a barbell, right? With a front squat, you can do a barbell, you can do kettlebells, you can do one kettlebell, you can do 2 kettlebells. But the key component is you're going to use more of your core. It's forcing you to use more of your core because that weight's in front. Now, in order to keep your core nice and tight, which is the main foundation to any really, especially power exercise that we do, is not letting your shoulders round, because you can keep your core tight, but now you have a shitty posture, right? So maintaining that good strong posture with the upper back, because that's part of the core as well, at the same time, keeping this braced, right? So, for instance, 1 kettlebell, keeping the elbows snugged up, right? Keeping the lats engaged. while maintaining good strong posture, and then you can proceed to push your hips back and then get into that low squat position, okay? You guys here don't have a problem with it, but when you start to get like this kind of like go heavy enough and your knees kind of fall in, your job is to activate those outer glutes and press up with a nice powerful squat, right? That's one. Simple stuff, but I'm gonna demonstrate it anyway. 2, same thing, elbows are compacted, right? Down, lats are engaged, hips are back, keeping the knees over the ankles. Get that little tuck at the bottom, or the top I should say. Boom. Regardless of what you're using, still trying to keep that core nice and tight. Barbell, elbows are gonna have to be pressed up. This is probably the most challenging, believe it or not, for me anyway, because of my wrist mobility. This is gonna require the most mobility in your wrist. But same rules apply, keeping the elbows up, core is nice and tight. See, my range of motion is limited with this because of my wrist. But that probably wouldn't be my option, although it should be because I suck at it. But anyway, you guys have the choice here. At home, whatever you're working with, keep that core nice and tight is my main thing. I did shave off that 10 on each end of the work period, just for timing purposes. It's a lot, timing plus it's a lot of work and you don't need those extra sets. Folks at home, if you don't have much weight to play with and you want to do the extra set, if you want to do that extra set, go for it. You guys usually have more time because you're not exchanging weights and stuff like that. But that's going to be your main lift. Your speed exercise, jumping split squat. We're going to work unilateral, one leg at a time, driving into the floor, switching your upper body as if you were running, and then catching that landing. Coiling back up, working on getting off the ground as fast as possible. 5 each on that, and then hollow hold. No reps here, we're just gonna hold for 33 seconds. Hollow rock position, point those toes, squeeze the quads, get that lower back smashed into the floor. Your shoulder blades should not be touching, your heels should not be touching, and you're chilling out right here. Should be shaking. I'm vibrating you ready. I'm only doing it for 10 seconds. Okay? Make sure that's nice and tight. That's gonna be your stability exercise. 20 minutes worth of work. Take your rest when you need it. 30 to 45 seconds at minimum after each set. Finisher time, guys. 10 by 10 by 10. 2 exercises back to back. 20 rounds. Very deceiving with these 10-second rest periods. First exercise, frog jumps. Really simple stuff. High plank here. Keep your hands pressed into the floor. Pull the hips up. Try to keep your hands planted. And then back to a high plank position, okay? I was telling the morning crew earlier, it's not a matter of how many reps you get in that 10 seconds. It's a matter that you're still working for those 10 seconds, right? So, regulate your heart. If it starts going too crazy, do a deeper kind of frog jump, right? You're still moving. Maybe do less reps. When the heart rate starts climbing too high, you can auto-regulate it by doing slower reps. In your second exercise, high knees. Done. Easy breezy. Quick, fast and furious. Let's go.